Well, hey everybody, Pastor Brad here, and I am with
Olivier Melnick with
the
Shalom
one and only.
with Shalom and Messiah.
Yes, and we're both here in Israel right now. We arrived just a few days ago, and we wanted to just give you an overview of what's happening in Israel, but really the incredible things that we are witnessing happening right before our eyes that relate to Bible prophecy. Now, some people have various views on whether we're actually, if these are actual physical fulfillments of prophecy or whether they're foreshadows. What do you think?
Well, it depends on which one you look at. I think the main one, the foundational one in Israel is the fact that we actually are in a modern day, a modern state of Israel that was reborn in 1948 on May 14th, 1948, and. People are saying, some people are quoting the verse from Isaiah 66:8, is it?
I believe so.
That,
yeah.
can a nation be born in one day? Some people believe that this is, that Israel, May 14, 1948, was a fulfillment of that verse. I personally believe that this might be a verse that speaks of the time where all Israel will be saved at the end of the tribulation, when the Jews say Baruch haba b'Shem Adonai, blessed is you, comes in the name of the Lord, and they all get saved. When they call on the one who they have pierced, Zechariah 12:10. So all Israel becomes saved. I think that's a reference to that future event. But regardless.
Yeah, because, I mean, if you look at the history, May 14th, 1948, Israel was reborn, at least, in a day. Now, Israel has always been a nation, right?
Right.
Because God established Israel way back with Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, and into Israel. But some people look at this and say this is the fulfillment of that prophecy. And regardless, the very fact that Israel is here shows us that God is at work.
And I think it's at the very least a prerequisite. It's
Yes.
that Israel has to exist for, let's look at another prophecy, the return of the Jewish people in unbelief.
It's
the return
amazing.
to where? Where do they return to? Israel.
Israel. And if you go around Israel today, even as we noticed we were flying into Israel a few days ago, you see nothing but construction. Now remember, we're in a nation at war. We're in a nation that is experiencing almost every day rockets or missiles. The other day we were shopping in Hostage Square in Tel Aviv. We had to make a beeline for a bomb shelter because Yemen had launched missiles. And thankfully, the IDF does an incredible job protecting their land. Without the IDF and the ingenuity of the Jewish people, this place would be probably laid to waste. But God's protection, and He's using the IDF for that, is here. But you fly into Israel, and all you see is construction, high rises.
High rises, massive.
Everywhere. We're staying in Kfar Saba, and there's construction going on everywhere. Tel Aviv, high rises, and what they are doing is this is a part of an Israeli program to bring the Jewish people back. Why don't you talk about that for a minute?
Well, there is in Ezekiel 36, we're told that the Jewish people will be gathered back from the nations, from the diaspora, in the dispersion in the nations, gathered back to the land of Israel in unbelief. And then, of course, what we have, the next chapter is known as the 37, is known as what? The chapter, Ezekiel 37?
38, the Valley of the Dry Bones.
37, the Valley of Dry Bones, I think.
Right.
Yeah. And then, so we have the Jews going back in unbelief, making aliyah, the law of return, and we're seeing a lot of Jewish people coming back right now. And I think that one of the driving force behind the return of the Jews in unbelief is this resurgence of global antisemitism.
Anti-Semitism. And we see this so frequently, especially in the United States, but around the world. Australia, France, Great Britain, Europe, United States, tremendous anti-Semitism. We see it on our college campuses. And so Israel's saying, welcome home, come back home to us. And Aliyah is part of that. And what a great opportunity for Bible prophecy to take place, right?
Right. And it's a process, and it's involved. There's like a lot of paperwork to do and everything, but the Jewish people are starting to really come back from all over the world, from the diaspora to Israel. And like Pastor Brad mentioned, this is a nation at war. We count 7 different fronts, 8 if you add the media. The media makes it 8. 8 front fighting 8 front. It's still the safest place for Jews to be. I don't know about you, Pastor Brad, but I have not felt scared at all. I feel very
No.
safe here. Even the day we were to run into the bomb shelter, I talked to my wife that day. I explained to her, and she goes, "Were you scared?" I said, "No, I was
No.
not." It was like, okay, we move from here to there. We stay there. We're safe. We come out. I mean, it was a process. Everybody took it seriously. Nobody was belittling the thing like, let's stay outside. No, they went for cover, and then 5 minutes later, they went on with their business, going out again. And there was no panic. It was really organized.
And it speaks to the resilience of the Jewish people. And I think that's something that God built into their DNA. You've seen over the centuries how the Jewish people have been persecuted. Of course, World War II with the Nazis is kind of an obvious example. And even today, there's so much movement. You see all the yellow ribbons, you see the signs, bring them home now. There's a national desire for every single hostage to come back home. And that speaks into the resilience of the Jewish people. The sanctity of life for the Jewish people is incredible. And I remember you had mentioned in one of your blogs about the hostages returning back, and they're gaunt. They look like they came out of a concentration camp in World War II.
Yeah, they returned. There was about over a month ago. Three men came out, and the whole world saw that, and their faces they're identical to prisoners coming out of Auschwitz, and that really started to show the world what was happening under the control of Hamas terrorists, and how they were treating or mistreating the hostages. And friends, we're back in the 1930s and 40s. I've been doing this for 25 years now, trying to educate Christians on antisemitism and how to fight it and reach out to Jewish people in a better way. And I used to tell people we're getting closer and closer to the 1930s and 40s.
It's incredible.
We're there. We have arrived.
Are.
Now the Jews are really starting to see that they're not safe anywhere, and this is the time now for Christians to really get involved and say, "Hey, I'm a Christian. I'm a believer. My Bible is from the Jewish people. My Messiah is from the Jewish people. My Messiah is Jewish.
Amen.
And I need to, as a Christian, I'm speaking, like if as a Gentile Christian." I'm Jewish, but I'm speaking for other people. It's time for you to say, "Hey, you know what? I want to really put in motion the blessing of Genesis 12:3. I will bless those who bless you." It's time to bless the Jewish people.
Absolutely.
And to be available, to make yourself available to reach out and even get to a place when you can rescue and shelter Jewish people at a time of need.
And here's the incredible thing, is we're here, and our presence means something. As we are ministering to the IDF and various people that are in Israel, they're like, you've come to us, and that means something. The ministry of presence is so important. And as you've heard me say many times, never before, I've been in ministry 25 years, and never before have we seen Bible prophecy, or at least the foreshadows of Bible prophecy, come alive like we are living today. And one of those things is that Jerusalem will become the center of the Jewish people again. And we're seeing this happen today as Jerusalem, of course, is ground zero of ground zero, right? Jesus is not coming back to New York. He's not coming back to Paris, I'm sorry to say, or Rockwall, Texas, or anywhere else. He is coming back here. And specifically, he is coming back to Jerusalem. And
the Mount of Olives.
To the Mount of Olives. He's going to split it in two. And to stand on that mountain and think that when this is where Jesus is going to land, and this is where he's going to establish the throne of David again. And so Zechariah talks about the fact that he will make Jerusalem, again, the center of the Jewish people. And we're seeing that happen today. And we're seeing at the center of Jerusalem, of course, is what? The temple.
The temple. Now, Pastor Brad, I'm going to brag a little bit.
Okay.
You know, I know Jesus is not coming back to Rockwell, Texas. I mean, why would he? But we got 5 red heifers in Israel right now that come from
Rockwell, Texas.
Rockwell, 20 minutes from where I live.
Wow.
And so, yes, I'm bragging. The red heifers came from Texas.
Well, what's the significance of the red heifers? I mean, are they just like cows that are going to be in the field? But there's something that's lending to all this prophetically.
Well, yeah, right now the red heifers are kept in Shiloh in Israel, and they are being watched very, very, very closely supervised. They have to make sure that, according to Jewish tradition, no more than 2 white hair on the animal, if there's more than 2 white hair, then the animal is disqualified for the purpose of what it's going to be used for. And by the way, a red heifer with more than 2 white hair, you know what you call it? Brisket.
Brisket. Well,
so
that's what's for dinner, right?
At least in Texas. Disqualified, let's have brisket. But the red heifer is, the animal, it would be burnt, and then the ashes of red heifer, according to the Torah, will be used to be mixed with water to make water that is then used to purify the priest that will operate at the temple. And
we have a temple being not maybe being physically built right now, but at least all the instruments and everything is in place for the temple to be put back on the Temple Mount.
The Temple Institute in the old city of Jerusalem has all the implements for you to see when you come visit. The only thing they don't have is the ashes of the red heifer. And right now the red heifer are being watched. I think they have to be watched for 2 years, but then they have to find the person to be purified, and they found a young man from the tribe of Levi.
So they have priests.
They
have
location. They have the person, and they have everything.
They have everything. So what are we witnessing today? I think it reminds us
Convergence.
Good word, convergence. It reminds us that Jesus said, when you see these things happen, lift up your head, for your redemption is drawing nigh. And so, believer, this is a time to be encouraged. This is a time that we are living. It's an exciting time to be a believer.
Yeah.
And to remember that we owe to the Jewish people, because Paul said that they are the value of the Jewish people. They were given the promises of the oracles of God, according to Romans, I believe, chapter 3. But not only that, but Jesus came through the Jewish people. God used the Jewish people, and God's going to continue to use the Jewish people.
Absolutely.
And this is the land where we're standing right now, talking to you, where Jesus is coming back and setting up His kingdom. And an incredible time to watch this happen right before our eyes.
Absolutely.
Friends, keep your eyes open. When you open up the newspaper, when you open up your web browser and you're looking at the news, you're not just reading headlines. You're watching God at work. And what the enemy wants to do is divide us, right? He wants us to say, well, are they on this side or on that side? And as the angel, the captain of the army of the Lord said to Joshua, whose side are you on? It's not about whose side God's on. It's about whose side are you on, meaning are you on God's side? And believer, whether you are a Jew or Gentile, Jesus came. He died for you. He paid a price for you. He bought you. He ransomed your soul. And He is asking for you today to call upon His name and be saved.
Amen.
Would you like to close with something, Olivia?
I just wanted to add something. God is not done with Israel and the Jewish people.
Amen.
So Christians should really pay attention.
And there are opportunities for ministry. And if you are looking for opportunities, they can reach out to Shalom and Messiah Ministries, correct?
Yeah, reach out. Come to our website, shalomandmessiah.com. Connect with us. We take trips to Israel. We're going to take more trips for mission opportunities to come here and help serve and help the IDF and bring supplies. Again, Pastor Brad mentioned earlier the ministry of presence. We come here, and that will be my final word, and then you can close. We come here, and people look at us and go, "What are you doing here? Why are you coming right now?" We had the other day, we were walking on the first day, we were walking in the port of Jaffa, and we walked into a little shop, and the lady looked at us, and before she could even say hello to us, she looked at us and she said, "It is so good to see tourists." Now, I don't know how she thought we were tourists.
I don't know. Maybe it was the lanyards we had around our neck. The
But
flag.
but the point, seriously, the point is, people are not coming here. There's no tourism. There's no buses, and I've been here many times. Now is a good time to come and be present and make a difference. Make a difference, and because when we're here and we make a difference, we have an opportunity to tell the Jewish people, "I'm here because I love Israel, I love the Jewish people," and why is because I read my Bible and I see that it's important to bless the Jewish people, and I want to be here to do whatever I can for you. So, friends, consider visiting Israel.
Well, Olivier, thanks for the talk.
Hey,
and
my pleasure.
it's been a pleasure to share this time with you in the Holy Land, and we have many more days ahead, and I'm sure we'll have more opportunities to bring to you what God is doing. But for now, God bless, shalom, and pray for the peace of Israel.
Shalom and be blessed.